So, today, we're going to talk a little bit about a question that Zenny TK asked me in chat today, just now. And the question is mainly about if I had any psychology tips or general advice for dealing with tilt. They demoted from Fusion yesterday and then went on a big losing streak to mid battle ruler because my mental was bombed. And then another question, I forgot who asked the second question. If you know, please tell me. Would love to hear more about psychology with tournaments sometime. So we're going to bring these two questions together because tilt and tournament are very related to each other. Okay? They're very related to one another. And the same strategies I'm going to encourage you to use in a ranked set will be useful in the tournament set because you will get tilted. Now, some of you have been watching me play the Virtual Fighter set with people like Paul and others. Why can't I see YouTube chat in my screen? What's going on here? And others in on my stream, right? My videos. Paul and Setsuna and Shansha and Damog. And you'll notice there are times when I get really frustrated. One could say that's tilt. I have gotten tilted a couple times versus Paul, actually. Like my first set, I kept trying to do something and it wasn't working. And I had to sit and think to myself, okay, why is this not working? So the real problem with tilt isn't tilt itself. Tilt's frustration, anger, and it's blinding you from being able to think. So the real problem with tilt isn't the fact that you feel a really strong emotion. Emotions are fine. The problem is that it is blinding you from being able to make good, clear, rational decisions. Because when your brain is really emotionally activated too much, gets overwhelmed, your frontal lobe, the part of your brain that kind of regulates your emotion, it regulates everything. It's the regulatory system of the brain. Your emotions are included there. If you are on tilt, your frontal lobe, which is also where you do higher order thinking, is where you do mix-ups, is where you do pattern recognition, all those really fancy things you need to do to fight well, yeah, that shit goes out the fucking window. You're done. It's over. It's gone. Say bye-bye to any mix-up, reads, anything that's useful to beat an opponent who's maybe causing you to tilt because you keep getting beaten. So, my advice to Zenny is that when you find yourself tilted, stop playing the game. Stop ranking, queuing. Do not raise queue. Stop yourself. Friends, listen to me. Friends, don't let friends rage queue in rank. Okay? Don't do it. Don't do it. It's bad. It's a bad thing. It's a bad, bad thing. It's going to mess you up. Okay? So make sure you don't do that. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Now you might be asking me, well, I want to play the game. I want to have to not play the game. And I agree with you. You probably do still want to play the game. So then what are you going to do instead? Do something else. Go to quick play. Play quick play instead. If you really want to make sure you keep playing the game, because maybe you just want to play and you're tilted and you want to keep playing, then play quick play. It's so hard to stop because I want to get back to Fusion. Okay, I hear you, Zenny. I offer you this. If you want to get back to Fusion more quickly and efficiently, you need to not start going down into Battle Ruler because you're tilted and mad and losing too much, right? Touch grass. I'm actually not encouraging you to touch grass necessarily. I mean, you can touch grass. I'm not going to say don't touch grass. That's a fine thing to do. What I'm saying is to still engage with the game if you want to stop you from being... Literally, close your eyes, sit, listen to the music, listen to the breath, your own body, feel the air coming in out your nose, really, really focus on the air. You want to feel a sensation. You want to feel your chest going up and down, your belly opening and closing as you expand and contract your diaphragm. Just focus on the sensations, the physical sensations that are happening as you are noticing and experiencing your own body breathing. Because your breath is always there. You breathe all the time, all day. You don't think about it, but it's there. When you do it keeps you alive automatically. So right now, you're going to use this automatic thing as a means to focus yourself, to hone in. Also, breathe slowly, breathe out slowly. Fun fact, that calms people down neurologically. It's part of our neurons. There's a certain rate you could do it at, but I don't want to do that with you right now. After you've gotten yourself centered with the breath, come back to the music. What's the beat? What instruments are playing? Is that a piano line? Is that a drum beat? What do the notes feel like? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Whatever it is, doesn't matter. Just listen to it change over time and really focus on the sound. What you're doing here is learning to regulate your tilt in the moment when you're tilted. Now you can stay there or you can come out of it. It doesn't matter anymore. What I'm trying to tell you here is, first we start with the breathing, right? Sensation of breath. This is meditation. Yes, this is meditation. How do I channel stray thoughts? You don't. Just let them happen. There are many kinds of meditation. I've been meditating since I was like 3 years old. And so there are a lot of misconceptions about what meditation is. Meditation is just focusing your mind. And you can do it with anything. Anything. You can meditate when you're walking, when you're playing a game, when you're listening to music, when you're listening to a stream, when I'm here streaming with you. Anything can be meditative if you make it meditative. When I feel like I'm emptied my mind, I'm not sure how to confront the thoughts that persist. I mean, that's what therapists is for. Potentially the problematic thoughts that you're hiding are uncomfortable, potentially. But yes, when you empty your mind and you really just kind of calmly, I got my thing. When you empty your mind, just kind of relax it. You sometimes find things enter that you're not expecting to be there. And those are distractors. So when you're tilted, empty your mind. What comes up? Those are the things you got to focus on. What's frustrating you? What are you getting tilted by? And like you said earlier, Zenny, it's yourself. I shouldn't be losing. Well, why shouldn't you? Because they did what? What are they doing that you shouldn't be getting hit by? Is there a reason why you shouldn't be losing? It's because they're lower ranked than you and you should be beating people lower ranked than you? Is the goal here to acknowledge it and or find a solution? Not necessarily. Not yet. Not yet. First, you have to stop being tilted. You gotta bring yourself back down. Because again, when you're tilted, your frontal lobe is off. Your rational brain is offline. Not on the internet anymore. You can't expect to figure shit out until you calm the fuck down. And the more and more you do this, the better you'll get at it, and the faster you'll be at it, and the more quickly you'll be able to notice when it's happening. So like I do it between rounds, you know, I'll spend that time recentering myself. Sometimes I'll do it with my breath. I'll just focus on my nose, focus on the air coming in outside. Might do a big sometimes that's enough. I'll like do things with my hands. I'll like do this. This is another thing I like to do a lot. I'll like play with the bones in my wrist. Just kind of like move them around a little bit. Just kind of feel them. Just feel my wrists just like rotating. It also helps kind of rotate and like release any tension in here. But I have a bunch of little things I do to kind of ground myself. That's what you have to do when you're getting tilted. You gotta ground yourself. You're going off the fucking rails. Bring yourself back down. Like anything, it will require practice to get adjusted and refining that center. Exactly. Especially depending on the level of tilt you're feeling. Yes. Ideally, you want to catch yourself before you get too tilted. How do you manage yourself on a 20-day? Depends on a lot of things. The general advice on tournament day is it's online. Offline, I guess they're all the same. Depends what makes you anxious. If you're anxious about your performance, you gotta just like handle the anxiety by you can't make it go away. Like that's the thing I think people really want is they want to make the emotion disappear. Which is why I'm not telling you don't get tilted. I'm saying you're gonna get tilted. Get used to it. And get used to dissipating that emotion when it happens. Or using it as information to a degree that it doesn't turn off your rational brain. Which is what tilt is. Catch it earlier. Before you get tilted, before your brain is off. And this is hard. This part is hard. So you'll need to really practice it. You can find yourself getting frustrated at yourself during training mode when you're practicing a thing and you're like, damn it, I can't get it. When you're practicing a combo, you keep dropping. When you're practicing any technique. You actually have to learn to fight along with anxiety and nerves and tourney. Exactly. Exactly. This is one of the things that basic training in Army, they do. That's why it's so stressful. Because they want you to be able to turn off your fear response so that you can still think while you're in combat, right? Because that's the problem. When you're in combat and you're stressed out in a fight and anxious, you can't get rid of the anxiety. It's going to be there. You have to learn how to work with it and be able to not have it turn off your rational brain. This is why flowcharts are important. This is why automatizing things that are worth automatizing is important. So you need to know up front, what are my mix-ups? What can I do here? What can I do there? The reason why I spend so much time on one of my frames, writing things down, memorizing all kinds of random things, because I know that when I'm getting tilted, those things that I've learned, I've automatized, I can rely on. That's what training's for. That's why you practice. That's why you master things. That's why you practice beyond mastery. You've mastered it, you're still going to practice it anyway. Why? Because when you're tilted, when you're feeling an emotional response that's too strong and it's starting to turn your frontal lobe off, you don't want to be spending any extra energy thinking about what are my frames here? What are my mix-ups here? What can I do here? No. You need to already know that because it allows you to make better choices later on when you do get frustrated, when you are going to be unable to think as clearly as you are